Hello, welcome back to the reading of the poem of the Man God, written by Maria Valtorta, Volume 3, Chapter 377, Part 1. Jesus Speaks at Bethany. The vision dated 14th August 1944. The sheep in the fold at the feet of the Good Shepherd is to be put before this chapter. 6th February 1946. Jesus is at Bethany, and the fertile country is full of blossoms and flowers in this beautiful month of Nisan, which is so serene and clear that creation seems to have been cleansed of all filthiness. But the crowds who have been looking for him in Jerusalem and do not wish to go away without hearing him, to take away in their hearts his words, soon find him. And they are so numerous that Jesus orders his disciples to gather them all together, so that he may teach them. And the 12 apostles and the 72 disciples, who have formed a group of approximately that number, with the new disciples who joined them recently, spread out in all directions to carry out his instructions. In the meantime, Jesus, in Lazarus' garden, takes leave of the women, and particularly of his mother, as they are all going back to Galilee, as instructed by him, escorted by Simon of Alphaeus, Jairus, Alphaeus of Sarah, Margium, Susanna's husband, and Zebedee. They greet one another and weep. Many wish they did not have to obey, a desire brought about by their love for their master. But the power of their perfect love for the most holy word, being entirely supernatural, which is stronger, and that power makes them obey and accept the painful separation. The one who speaks least is Mary, his mother, but her countenance is more eloquent than all the words of the others put together. Jesus understands her grief, and he reassures and comforts her, overwhelming her with caresses. If a mother, and particularly that mother, can ever be overwhelmed, as she is full of love and in great distress for her persecuted son. And the women depart at last, turning round several times to greet the Master, their sons, and the lucky Judean women disciples who are still staying with the Master. They have suffered in going away, remarks Simon Zealot. But it is better that they have gone, Simon. Do you foresee sad days? Troubled, at least. Women cannot bear fatigue as we do. In any case, now that I have almost as many Judeans as Galileans, it is better if they are divided. They will have me in turns, and in turns they will have the joy of serving me, and I the consolation of their holy love. The crowds are continuously increasing in numbers. The orchard between Lazarus' house and that which belonged to the zealot is swarming with people. There are people of all castes and conditions, as well as Pharisees from Judea, members of the Sanhedrin, and veiled women. The members of the Sanhedrin who on Passover Sabbath had called on Lazarus in Jerusalem come out of Lazarus' house with other people, in one group, close to a litter in which Lazarus is carried. When passing by, Lazarus waves his hand and smiles happily at Jesus, and Jesus returns the salutation, while he follows the little procession to where the people are waiting for him. The apostles join him, and Judas Iscariot, who has been exulting for some days, in a very happy mood, turns his very dark, bright eyes here and there, and reports to Jesus what he discovers. Oh, look, there are also some priests. Look, there is also Simon of the Sanhedrin, and there is Helkai. What a liar. Only a few months ago he used to speak evil of Lazarus, and now he pays his respects to him as if he were a god. And Doro, the elder, and Trison are over there. See, he is greeting Joseph. And Samuel the scribe with Saul, and Gamaliel's son. And over there is a group of Herodians, and that group of women with veils. Must be the Roman ladies. They are standing on one side, But look how they are watching where you are going, so that they can change place and hear you. I recognize them notwithstanding their large mantles. See? 2 are tall, 1 is broader than taller. The others are of middle height, but well-shaped. Shall I go and greet them? No. They have come here as strangers, as anonyms who wish to hear the word of the Rabbi. We must consider them as such. As you wish, Master. I wanted to remind Claudia of her promise. It is not necessary, and even if it were, we must never become beggars, Judas. Is that right? Heroism and faith is to be perfected among difficulties. It was for your sake, Master, and for your everlasting idea of a human triumph. Do not cherish false hopes, Judas, neither with regard to my future behavior, nor with regard to promises you have received. You believe in what you say to yourself, but nothing will be able to change the thought of God, which is that I am Redeemer and King of a spiritual kingdom. Judas does not reply. Jesus is now in his place, in the middle of the apostles. Lazarus is in his little bed, almost at his feet. Not far from him, there are the Judean women disciples, that is, Lazarus' sisters, Eliza, Anastasica, Joanna with the children, Analea, Sarah, Marcella, Nike, the Roman ladies, or at least those pointed out by Judas as such, are a little behind, almost at the end, mingled in a group of common people. Members of the Sanhedrin, Pharisees, scribes, priests, are in the first row, which is unavoidable. But Jesus begs them to make room for 3 small litters with sick people, whom Jesus asks questions, but he does not cure them at once. Jesus, as a starting point for his speech, draws the attention of the audience to the large number of birds that nestle in the trees in Lazarus' garden and in the orchard where his listeners are gathered. Watch them. Some are indigenous, some exotic. They are of all breeds and sizes, and when it gets dark, they will be replaced by night birds, which are also very numerous, although we are inclined to forget about them because we do not see them. Why so many birds here? Because they find what they need to live happily: sunshine, peace, plenty foodstuff, safe shelter, cool water. And they gather, coming here from east and west, north and south. If they are migrant birds, and they stay here permanently if they are indigenous. So we thus see that the birds of the air exceed the sons of man in wisdom. How many of these birds are young ones of birds that are now dead, but last year, or farther back in time, built their nests here and were happy here? They told their little ones before dying. They showed them this place, and the young ones obeyed and came here. The Father who is in heaven, the Father of all men, did he perhaps not tell his saints the truth? Did he not give them all the necessary instructions for the welfare of his children? All the instructions, those concerning the welfare of the body and those concerning the welfare of the spirit. But what do we see? We see that while what was taught for the health of the body, from the hide tunics, which he made for the first parents, stripped in their own eyes of the dress of innocence, which was torn by sin, to the latest discoveries made by man through the light of God, is remembered, handed down, and taught. The rest, which was taught, ordered, and pointed out for the Spirit, is not kept, or taught, or practiced. This has been a reading from the Poem of the Man God, written by Marie Valtorta, Volume 3, Chapter 377, Part 1. Jesus speaks at Bethany. Thank you for listening. I will see you tomorrow. May God bless you, and may peace be with you.